my goodness gracious. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy week. I haven't slept in like a lot of time.
What if I told you that one of Hollywood's most beloved couples, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, isn't as perfect as they seem? On the surface, they've built a public image that screams relationship goals, playful social media banter, red carpet PDA, and a picture-perfect family. But behind the scenes, a hidden power struggle has been quietly brewing, and the truth is more shocking than anyone expected. Because in late 2023, something strange started happening on the set of It Ends With Us, the highly anticipated film where Blake was set to take the lead. Everything seemed fine, until suddenly, filming was delayed multiple times, contracts were disputed, and out of nowhere, a 17-point list of demands was thrown onto the table. And at the center of it all, Ryan Reynolds. Now here's where things get really weird. On the same exact day that Ryan Reynolds announced Deadpool 3 was restarting production, Blake's legal team sent a letter refusing to return to set unless specific, non-negotiable demands were met. Coincidence? Or a carefully orchestrated power move? Because once you start connecting the dots, it starts to look less like random Hollywood chaos and more like a masterclass in behind-the-scenes manipulation. Let's break it all down. For years, Blake and Ryan have presented themselves as Hollywood's golden couple. Unlike most A-list marriages that struggle under the pressures of fame, they've cultivated an image that makes them seem untouchable. They joke about each other online, attend every event hand in hand, and seem to have the kind of relationship that just works. No scandals, no drama, just a happy family, raising their kids far away from the chaos of Hollywood. But there's one thing about their relationship that sets them apart from most celebrity couples. They refuse to be apart for long periods. Now, this might seem sweet, even admirable, but in an industry where actors spend months, sometimes years, filming projects on different continents, it's an unusual rule to follow so strictly. Because when both Blake and Ryan signed onto films that were shooting at the exact same time in different locations, the cracks in their perfect dynamic started to show. And that's when things started getting messy. At first, production on It Ends With Us was moving along smoothly. No major issues, no reported conflicts. Blake was fully committed to the role, and the team was ready to bring the beloved novel to life on screen. Then suddenly, everything changed. Blake's legal team sent a shocking letter, a demand list with 17 non-negotiable conditions. The message was clear: unless these demands were met, she wasn't coming back to set. Now, here's where it gets even stranger. This letter wasn't sent randomly. It was sent on November 9th, 2023, the exact same day that Ryan Reynolds announced Deadpool 3 was resuming production in the UK. This immediately raised eyebrows. Why would Blake suddenly refuse to return to set, despite having no prior issues with production? And why did this happen on the same day that Ryan confirmed he'd be filming overseas? Was this just a coincidence, or was something else happening behind the scenes? Because what happened next made the situation even weirder. When an actress refuses to return to set, who normally steps in to resolve the issue? Usually it's her lawyers, manager, or the studio execs. These are the people who handle negotiations, especially when big budget films are on the line. But this time, the It Ends With Us director personally called Ryan Reynolds. That's right, not Blake, not her agent, but her husband. Now, this is completely unheard of in Hollywood. Directors don't typically report to an actor's spouse about production issues. That's just not how the industry works. But somehow, Ryan was being treated like a decision maker in Blake's career. And when he responded, he told the director that he and Blake were hardwired to never be apart. That being separated for filming was how to kill them. Now, what does that tell you? That this wasn't just about Blake's role in the film. It was about Ryan's control over the situation. And the more he tried to pull strings behind the scenes, the messier things got. Because while Ryan was intervening in Blake's career, she was making a power move of her own. At this point, people started asking, was Ryan Reynolds just a supportive husband who wanted his family together? Or was he being controlling and possessive behind the scenes? Because according to multiple sources, Blake Lively had a strict rule on set. She was never allowed to be alone in a room with another man. Now, some argue this was a safety precaution, ensuring she always had someone present. But others, they say it was Ryan's insecurity. Because let's face it, Hollywood is full of on-screen romances, close director-actor relationships, and behind-the-scenes chemistry. And for someone like Ryan, who has been involved in past cheating rumors, the idea of Blake working closely with another man for months, it might have been too much to handle. And it turns out, this wasn't just about keeping Blake close. It was about making sure she had total control over the film itself. Because while Ryan was pressuring the production team, Blake was demanding a complete takeover. The longer the delays dragged on, the more control Blake demanded. Suddenly, her list of demands wasn't just about scheduling, it was about rewriting the rules entirely. White heavy check mark, she wanted control over her lines. White heavy check mark, she demanded final approval of certain scenes. White heavy check mark, she even wanted influence over post-production. And that's when people started wondering, was this really about protecting herself on set? Or was this about seizing power over the entire film? Because when a Hollywood actress suddenly starts making demands for total creative control, you have to ask, who's really running the show? By January 4th, the delays had stretched on for months. At this point, the production team had agreed to Blake's demands, signed off on her revised contract, and was ready to move forward. But then came the final meeting, and it wasn't what anyone expected. Instead of discussing filming logistics, Blake pulled out her phone and started reading a prepared statement. According to sources present, it was a list of accusations against the director and production team, accusations that they claim were either exaggerated or completely false. And then, Ryan Reynolds lost it. People in the room described it as a full-on berating session, Ryan going after the director, demanding an apology for things that allegedly never even happened. It wasn't just a private argument, it was a power move, a warning shot. One producer, who had been in Hollywood for over 40 years, said they had never seen someone spoken to in that way. And here's the strangest part. Despite all the accusations and heated exchanges, just days later, Blake was back on set, acting as if nothing had happened. So what was the point of all of this? Was this about Blake's personal grievances? Or was it a deliberate strategy to establish dominance over the production? Because at the exact same time that all of this was happening, Ryan Reynolds was busy with his own agenda. While It Ends With Us was being delayed, Ryan was already back on set filming Deadpool 3, the same movie that had been postponed due to the strikes. And then, rumors started circulating that Blake Lively was suddenly involved in Deadpool 3. And this is where things take a bizarre twist. Because during the same period, a leaked Deadpool scene description surfaced online. And in this rumored scene, Blake's alleged character, Lady Deadpool, kills a rival character right in front of a flower shop. Now, why does that matter? Because It Ends With Us literally revolves around a flower shop. Was this just a coincidence? Or was Ryan Reynolds taking a direct shot at the production team of his wife's movie? Because by this point, it was becoming painfully obvious. Blake didn't just want control over It Ends With Us. She wanted options. She knew that if things didn't go her way, she had a backup plan. A role in Deadpool 3 that could be just as career-defining. And here's the real kicker. Production insiders claim that Blake was never originally supposed to be in Deadpool. Her alleged role was added during the same period when It Ends With Us was in chaos. Now think about that for a second. If Blake and Ryan had been deliberately delaying her movie, using contract negotiations as a smokescreen, then this whole drama wasn't just about jealousy. It was a power play, and in the end it worked. After months of delays, contract disputes, and behind-the-scenes power struggles, Blake Lively finally returned to set in January. And guess what? Nothing bad happened. The production wrapped smoothly, and there were no further issues on set. So what does that tell us? That the real drama didn't come from the actual filming. It came from Blake and Ryan's fight for control. Some sources say Ryan was just a jealous husband, unwilling to let his wife work apart from him. Others believe that Blake saw an opportunity to seize power over her own career, and she played the game perfectly. And then there's the wildest theory of all, that this entire mess was a setup to help Blake transition into the Deadpool franchise. The timing of everything is too perfect to ignore. Blake's movie delayed, her demands escalate, Deadpool 3 resumes, rumors of her sudden casting emerge. So, did Blake really delay filming because of legitimate concerns? Or did she use the situation to get exactly what she wanted? More control, more leverage, and a major role in one of the biggest franchises in Hollywood? So what do you think? Was Ryan Reynolds controlling and possessive, pulling strings to keep Blake close? Did Blake intentionally delay her own movie to get more power behind the scenes? Or was this all one giant Hollywood chess match, where both of them played their cards perfectly? And most importantly, was Blake's mysterious role in Deadpool 3 a planned career move all along? Let me know in the comments, because this story is still unfolding. And before you go, Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this crazy Hollywood drama. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.